We've broken some sewing rules, but there's a reason. I never break into hives about this. I'm quite happy. The result, an amazing dress. So excited to share. The fabric, the color. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from littlepigsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I'm super excited to share a dress I made between yesterday and today. It didn't take long to make, and I was really inspired by another dress that you've already seen maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. Let me show you an image of this amazing long red dress with an embroidered fabric. It's a red 100% cotton broderie anglaise. I sewed that quite a few months ago, and after sewing that dress and having such a great experience and being so happy, I remembered when I bought that fabric, there was another colorway there in that shop, online shopping here in Brazil, by the way. I went back to see, and yeah, there was a green there. Oh my gosh, I was so excited because I couldn't really remember what color I had seen. I just focused on the red. When I've seen a fabric, touched it, experienced it, and loved it so much, I'm usually going to go get another colorway. And I do the same with shoes and handbags and stuff. Yeah, I'm that type. I had that green fabric there just staring at me. I'm actually sewing another project with green serger thread. I did not want to change it. And so yeah, the stars aligned. It was just perfect. So let me show you the fabric and why I'm breaking some rules. It's a quite narrow fabric. This is one selvage. This is the other selvage. So if I wanted to cut this traditionally, I would have to fold it like this, and then these scalloped embroidered edges would be the selvage. So the grain line goes like this. I want those scallops at my hem, which means I'm going to cut it cross grain, and I have no problem with that. You know, this is going to look so nice as a hem. I won't have to hem it, and it's a beautiful detail that is really hard to miss. Lots of embroidered fabrics have this, so it's like they were made to be cut on the cross grain for some reason. So I'm not going to break into hives or have some sort of meltdown because I'm going to do that. And then there's the other thing that if you cut it on the cross grain, you get the embroidery going down like this. And if you cut it on the normal grain line, the flowers and everything would be sideways, which I'm not a fan of. And it's the exact same way I cut my red dress that you've already seen. Now, what other thing did I do that breaks the rules? I didn't use any interfacing at all. Now, after making that red dress, I was able to find some red interfacing and have a small amount, I think 2 meters. So if I have red projects in the future with, any red thing that is broderie anglaise, I have some. But I don't think that green interfacing exists. And with all these openings here, where you can see, and they're not small openings, if I used white or black or any color interfacing, it would look horrible. This shirt dress does have areas that need interfacing, like the placket and the collar. But I decided because it's cotton, it's 100% cotton, it's structured, I think it's okay to not use it this time. So we see how we break some rules, and I wouldn't recommend not using interfacing in plackets and collars with rayon, for example, or other types of fabrics. I would gladly skip it in a denim, for example. This cotton was perfect for it, but it's just because I want the nice clean look without random interfacing behind the openings, which would look horrible. So yeah, I also didn't do buttonholes. I didn't feel that it was stable enough around the placket area for me to do them. I think if I would have sewn them, they would have pocket a little with the sewing machine. So I didn't do them. I just sewed the buttons right through. So just breaking all the rules, right? But I'm very happy. I'm not concerned at all. Now, what pattern am I going to sew? This is one I sewed in 2022 when it was released. It's from Pattern Emporium, and it's called Take the Chance. Back then I made 2 versions in a size 18. There's so many options here. There's a separate bodice. It's for woven fabrics. If you're a little bit shorter, there's a regular length bodice. If you're a bit taller, there's another cut line a little bit below. That's what I use. And then you can make it a mini dress or really long. It just depends on how many tees you want to add and the length of them. All very well described in the pattern. Integrated placket, easy to sew here on the center. And the easiest collar you could ever sew. Is my preferred way of sewing these types of collars, and I've got a really detailed tutorial on how to sew this shirt dress back from 2022, so I'll leave that linked for you. The back is simple, it's on the fold. The sleeves, you have a lot of options for the sleeves. I'm just doing the short sleeves here. I've always just done the regular short sleeves because it's what suits me the best. What I like about this pattern is because they're rectangles, you don't have to print them out if you don't want to. You get measurements for it, which is so much better for me because I can just draw these on the fabric. I don't, waste paper and tape up pieces of rectangles basically. So I like that. The bodice I printed out and the sleeve. Now, if you've sewn the About Town shirt, which was released last year, that sleeve can work on this pattern as well. It's got an integrated cuff. I love that. And I would have used it if I didn't plan to use the scallops on this broderie anglaise. This dress, Take the Chance, is 50% off. Amazing value. It's a flash sale. It ends Saturday at noon, but in Australia. Over here, we're sort of, in the past. So it ends Friday night around this area of the world in the Americas. I will leave you my affiliate link at the top of the comment section in the description box as well, so it's easy to find. All you need to do to use my affiliate link is to click on it and purchase. You don't pay anything extra, it's just that there's a little tracking code there and I do receive a small commission back from Kate. One way that you can support what I do here on YouTube, creating all this content that is super helpful for things sewing. If you use my link, I'm super grateful. Now, my previous versions, as I mentioned, were a size 18. They were fitting quite loose if I wanted to wear them right now. So I hadn't been able to wear them in a little bit. I have adjusted them a little bit so that they do fit better. I think it's an easy style that you can adjust. I'm very happy because I can keep wearing them and I love them. So I'm going to show them to you so you can see what this is about. I think you can really see the features and then I really like it. I used a rayon. It's super floppy. I cut things on the regular straight of grain like this. And then I cut this on the cross grain so I could get this effect. This is actually the selvage. It looks like I used different fabrics, but it's the same one. So all this polka dot business is all around the back, on the sleeves, and right here on this area. I made the collar in that one. It took a lot of thought. Believe me, I used this type of section for the yoke at the back. Yeah, it took a while to make. And a top is not an official part of the pattern, but if you just sew one little T, you get a really cute peplum top. What I've done is taken in at the sides quite a lot, just the bodice, and then I unsewed the peplum and gathered it all over again. Totally worth it because it's such a special top. It's super striking. I love the fabric. I'm a sucker for border prints. Take the Chance is a shirt dress, but there's no reason why you can't make it a top. I just used the first tee. You would add more if you wanted a dress, obviously. This is a rayon. It was a border print, so I cut it on the cross grain in some sections. I think it's really cool in rayon. I've got it paired with my sporty lounge skirt that I recently resized, and this one I took it in as well. Quite a lot actually, because this used to be a size 18. It's still really nice and roomy. Love it. The details of the print is what I love the most. Check it out. So I've got the peplum all along like this. This blue section was actually the selvage where the hem is. And then this part of the bodice, I cut it on the straight of grain so we get that detail. It looks like I've mixed different prints, but it was actually the same print. This type of thing on the sides as well as the sleeve. I just have the bodice up to here with the buttons, and then at the bottom is just the little peplum. I think it's adorable. So if dresses aren't your jam, remember you can always make it a top. Beautiful. There's a bunch of sleeve options. I just made mine with regular sleeves, but you have a lot of options there. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, it's sweater season for me. I am in autumn and this is an amazing sweater knit. This is a Ray of Light, also from Pattern Emporium. It's got some ruching here on the side. Very nice. Check out this print. Love it. I can't get enough of black dresses. I swapped them out for these green ones. I think they're really, really cool. I have patch pockets here. Now this one I had already taken it in at the sides a little bit a couple of years ago, so I didn't do anything to it. It's still quite loose, but nothing a little belt can't fix, and it looks really, really nice and comfortable. With this one I have 2 tees, but only on the back, and on the front I just have 1 tee. Just playing with that as a hack, because why not? This is the Take the Chance dress I made in 2022 when the pattern was released. It's a rayon linen blend. Actually mainly rayon, 13% linen here in black. I made the full length shirt dress. Super nice. At the back I have 2 tees, so just at the back. On the front, I kept it simple. That's a hack. Back then I'd made size 18. I have taken it in once, maybe 2 years ago a little bit. I do have a belt that matches my shoes because that's how I like it. And it's such a comfy dress. Very, very nice. Feels super, super light on. I love myself a black dress. Can't get enough of them. And check out the green buttons. I think they're so pretty. I changed them actually. I had boring buttons, but I just swapped. When I make dresses in solids, I usually add details like these patch pockets that you can barely see because they're black, but I do have them right here. I think that's really nice. And the rest is all the same. The yoke, the amazing fit. It's a gorgeous dress. I really love this one. It's amazing. And check it out. It's just so nice. I love the scallops here. I serge and press the seams open on the inside. And then what I do, because I don't have a hem, is I tack the seam allowance right here by hand. And I do that on the skirt too. From this side, it just looks super neat. That's what I do when I use scallops, which is not a new thing. I've done this before. And I think it's so worth it. It's just the best thing ever. And then it seems like you're not done with the dress because you haven't hemmed it. But it's because you don't have to. So I have a single layer for the yoke over here. I have my collar, upper collar here and the collar there. I sewed the under collar right here by hand because I didn't want any top stitching here. I don't regret that. My placket is here, no interfacing. My buttons sewn right through, no buttonholes. This has enough ease around the waist, you know, that I can just pull it on over my head. I don't need to open that bodice to get into the dress. It's not a fitted dress. So when that is happening and I don't have interfacing for the buttonholes, yeah, that's the solution. I love the buttons. The green buttons are the same ones I used on the black dress. I just swapped them out. And then I didn't do the buttons all the way down like I did with the black shirt dress. This skirt piece on the fold, and I just cut one length. So the measurements you get there for the first tier, that is what I use to cut it like this. So mine is 55 centimeters long, which is 22 inches. That's what I need for my height, for it to be above the knee and not so short that I can still belt it if I want to. So that's all. It's so nice. The back is on the fold. There's no darts anywhere. This is zero fitting adjustments, just making my size 14. And I'm so happy with this hem and this fabric. It's just a fabulous dress. All I have to do is wear a skin colored slip that I've had for like 15 years underneath. This is my brand new Take the Chance dress. I printed a size 14 this time, Australian. No fitting adjustments actually, just the size 14. I have the tall length bodice because there's a shorter bodice. And the fabric, this cotton broderie anglaise, is just to die for. It's amazing green. You're going to see the hem details in a little sec. There's plenty of ease at the waist. The bodice is right at my waist. This is a tall length bodice, it's a shorter one. And it's nice and even in the front and the back. I don't find the gathering excessive. Check out this scalloped hem there, no hemming required, just cutting on the cross grain. And I went rogue and just did the button feature on the bodice. Here I have this front on the fold, the first tier. You don't need the whole thing to get into the dress. You can just pull it on over your head. And yeah, I just kept the skirt simple. Check it out. There is the placket area. I didn't do buttonholes. I sewed the buttons right through. You can barely see the green buttons. They blend in perfectly. And that's what I wanted. I think the embroidery on the fabric is enough. I really didn't want buttons, you know, to be seen. I want them to be functional. So they blend in really, really well there. This type of collar is super easy to sew. There is a little bit there. I've shown how to sew this in detail in the previous video from 2022. Zero stress, no interfacing because I don't have green interfacing, but the cotton is stable enough that I think it's fine. Also, the placket area here, not interfaced. So zero interfacing on this dress. I would only do that with cotton though. I would not do this with any other fabric like rayon. Usually broderie anglaise comes in structured fabrics, so I think you could get away with it if you're brave like me. That's absolutely fine. Check out the sleeves. I also have the scallop hem right there. I think it's beautiful. I love that. At the back, there's a little yoke. If you can see it, there's a seam going across there. It's a single layer. So gorgeous. You can adjust the buttons right here. I have one right at my bust height. I think this depth is perfect. I'm not showing anything. I can move and live my life. I'm so glad I got to revisit this pattern. It's beautiful, zero stress, super relaxed, and very excited to see how this fabric was going to look. I have a belt in the exact green, nice narrow belt, which is what I like. So let's see how that looks. Another option for when I feel like it. I would only want this matching belt. I wouldn't want anything contrasting here, just because the embroidery is so pretty. I don't want distractions, but I do like the shaping of the belt. If you notice, my skirt is just one piece. It's supposed to be 2 tiers. I just made the first tier longer and kept it simple. I think the fabric is striking enough, so just keep it simple. This time, you know, sewing was really relaxed. I wasn't stressed at all. When I've sewn something, it's like I already know what to do. I don't have to look at instructions or anything. I can just relax and just tick, tick, tick and get things done. I'm so happy I got to make it this week because I've been battling a cold for the last 10 days. I'm on the mend now, but I actually spent part of the weekend mostly in bed, which really sucks when you want to do a lot of things. So I'm really happy, I'm feeling good that I was able to sew this and enjoy it. This color I think suits me really well, so I'm very happy. Don't forget to check out the Take the Chance, amazing value at half off, all the links below. I'm going to see you again tomorrow with a very, very different video. There's something very different that you're going to enjoy knowing about. So make sure you stop by here at Lifting Pins and Needles tomorrow. See you then. Bye.